What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. Salute to everyone tuning in. I want to talk about Tyrese. Tyrese got himself, he got himself in a little bit of trouble because he went public about the fact that he believes that the judge residing over his divorce is racist. And he said something about his ex-wife. He's been refusing to pay her the $10,000 a month. Well, now the judge has made him now pay up $650,000 that will go towards her and her lawyers. Now, I don't know if this is a judge retaliating, but if it is, I think it needs to be investigated. You can't just get mad and hand out judgments like this. Now, this could have been something that was going to happen eventually, and maybe Tyrese got in front of it. Who knows? But the fact that Tyrese was upset because of what he said is being said about his ex-wife lets me know either he's still trying to win over his ex-wife, or again, he knew that something like this particular judgment would happen and he wanted to get in front of him and say, oh, this guy doesn't like black people anyway, even though his wife is racially ambiguous. She's not a black woman, right? Because he's claiming that, he's saying this about black women. He wants to stand up for black women, and his black lawyer, because he said his black female lawyer was there when the judge said that. So he's standing up for the black women in his life. I just think that Tyrese is still in love with his ex. He still hasn't gotten closure for that particular relationship. And because he hasn't gotten the closure that he was seeking, I truly believe this is why this situation is seemingly getting worse and worse for him. His wife, Samantha, has moved on. As a matter of fact, Samantha is now a content creator on YouTube. You would think that she was just somebody else. I mean, you wouldn't know that she was Tyrese's ex-wife. That's what I would say. She's out here giving advice. But this situation is not getting better and better for Tyrese. I think Tyrese needs to move on from her. It seems like he really hasn't, because now we're in this situation. You're supposed to pay less during a divorce proceeding, not more. But let's get into this particular article here. According to Hip Hop DX, it says Tyrese has been ordered to pay his ex-wife nearly $650,000 by a judge he publicly called out for being racist. The Fast and Furious star attended a court hearing in his custody battle with his ex, Samantha Lee, in Atlanta on Tuesday, where he was held in contempt of court for failing to pay $10,000 a month in child support he was ordered to cough up last August. According to TMZ, Tyrese argued on the stand that the monthly amount is excessive, as Lee allegedly earned substantial income on her own. The alter ego singer fell flat though, as he was ultimately ordered by Judge Kevin Farmer to fork over $237,000 in back child support payments to his ex-wife, with whom he shares a 4-year-old daughter named Soraya, and $399,000 to Samantha's lawyers. The judge acknowledged that Tyrese has been paying child support all this time, albeit a significant smaller amount of $2,200 a month. The $237,000 represents the monthly difference he owes plus interest. Tyrese was also told to foot a $17,000 bill for the special master in the case, a subordinate official appointed by a judge to ensure judicial orders are followed. The actor-singer has until May 15th to pay roughly $258,000 of the amount owed. His attorney, Tanya Mitchell-Graham, said the date could be pushed back, though, as she plans to file an appeal. She also has filed a motion for a new trial, which will be heard next month. Following the hearing, Tyrese issued a statement to the Shade Room. Of all places, he's releasing a statement to the Shade Room, disputing the judge's ruling, citing nearly $150,000 a year his ex-wife allegedly earns. Listen, they don't care, Tyrese. These judges do not care what these women are making. They want the men to take care of them. in a society that tells women that they are equal, in a society that tells women that they don't need a man, basically. That's the messaging they put out here. But they need men to take care of that woman's lifestyle. And not only does he have to pay her, he has to pay her lawyers and some special subordinate. I don't know if that's done in these particular proceedings, but it is. Listen, I don't know if Tyrese is in a bad situation with a judge that, feels like he owes his ex-wife something. That could be what it is. Maybe this is a judge that's on social media. Maybe he sees what's being said and he feels like, oh, well, I'm gonna make him pay in court. Because according to Tyrese, the same judge called his wife a bitch. And now he's trying to make Tyrese pay this amount to her. Again, I don't know if the rant that he went on is why this is going on, but I mean, it's, looking at it is kind of suspicious. I ain't gonna lie. It is kind of suspicious that he says this about this judge, and then this judge hands down this ruling soon after. If they can, get a new trial and maybe get a different judge, that's very difficult to do. Maybe he can change this. But it seemed like he was paying $2,000 a month, and then they switched it to $10,000 a month. And he was like, man, I'm not paying that. But you got to understand, this is what happens when you get married. They're going to be able to take from you. You know why, Tyrese? Because you signed a contract with the government. You didn't just marry your wife and have a child with her. You signed a contract with the government. So what they will do is now you basically owe them. This is about owing them, not necessarily owing her. Because the lawyer is going to get paid. Some special court subordinate is going to get paid. That's what marriage becomes. That's why I'm not a big fan of it. Because somebody's going to lose interest and somebody's going to want out. Most times it's the women. Tyrese's ex-wife wanted out the marriage and she left it. Now she wants him to take care of her financially. You got to ask yourself the question, because the marriage didn't last that long. Was she in it for the right reasons? You don't just leave somebody and not tell them why, according to Tyrese. Unless it's a situation where you left because you wanted to leave and because you just didn't want to be in a marriage anymore. That's why you have to be careful of who you're marrying. Now, Samantha may be a great person. Like I said, she's a fellow content creator now. But it's clear that Tyrese feels like there are some unanswered questions. Now, maybe you don't want to talk to him. Maybe you feel like he's an issue in your life. But I mean, you were married to the guy. And it's clear that this guy has he's dug himself a hole in court. Tyrese has definitely dug himself a hole in court. I don't know how he's going to get out of this. Except for he's going to have to pay unless he can get a new trial. He's going to have to get a new hearing, or he's going to have to fork over all this money. This is why you don't get married, because you're signing a contract with the government. It's not about love, especially when that woman wants out. It's about her leaving and getting her money and using the contract that you signed with the government, which is that marriage certificate, as a way to show, listen, this person owes me. We was only married for a couple of years, but they still owe me. This to me, and also, and this ain't just about divorce. This is also about child support. Because I know y'all going to say, well, Jane, this is about child support. Nothing to do with marriage. Yes, they do, because they take that into consideration. They really do. It ain't just a baby mama situation. This is a situation where this is about custody and child support. And it doesn't seem like she has, I don't know if she has primary custody, but I'm pretty sure they share it, because the child is at his house and then goes back to her. And so to me, I just don't think that he should have to fork over all this money. Listen to me. Everything will be appealed. My attorney, Tanya Mitchell Graham, stated that at least 30 things beyond the scope of the laws was mishandled and flat out egregious and illegal, he said. Tyrese also claimed that Samantha originally paid $7,500 only to retain her attorney. Over 2 years ago, although she makes about $1,500 a month, almost $150,000 a year, she ended up with 2 different law firms and racked up almost $500,000 in legal fees. That's crazy. They really was they was really running her pocketbook, and they never asked for her asked her for another dime because they were banking on the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's almost like these judges and lawyers are working together. Pay those attorney's fees, because they know she ain't got it. After my attorney asked their attorney, why have you represented Samantha for free for well over 2 years and she can clearly afford to pay her own legal fees? They both said, we really like her. People like me too, but not enough to carry over 2+ years in legal fees without paying legal fees and make them wait over 2 years to be paid. He added, the family law court system really effing sucks. It's all a process. We will appeal. Tyrese also shared his disappointment at the outcome on Instagram while addressing his supporters who showed up but were turned away at the courthouse after he called on black fathers to join him in prayer prior to the hearing. It's all a process, right? Is anyone really surprised the outcome? He wrote. I think of all things today, all the things move my heart. I just want to say to all of the fathers who showed up and was turned away for prayers today on the steps of the family law court building in Fulton County, I wish I would have seen you. I'm so sorry if you spent money on gas and just simply wanted to show up and pray with me today. On behalf of all fathers, the endless levels of injustices that continue to take place, we will appeal. He continued, for any father advocate groups, anyone that can represent me to get some new laws put into place that can go into Congress, I am ready, along with a whole lot of other fathers who continue to get effed over by the family law court system. Change doesn't come from sitting at home quiet. I feel bad for all the fathers that were turned away and not allowed to pray with me today, but I appreciate you guys carving out time to be there this morning. It shouldn't take these type of situations happening for men like Tyrese to speak out. Now, I'm not saying he hasn't before, but this goes on a lot. There's a lot of men being screwed over in the court system. And I've been talking about this since 2014. Men are getting screwed over in the courts. Something needs to be done. People think it's a joke. People think that men are trying to be deadbeats on purpose and not understanding the manipulative tactics that a lot of these women play to keep the fathers away from the children and to try to use these men for a child support check. That's what's going on out here. And it takes this for Tyrese to sort of wake up and have his red pill moment and to realize that, yeah, the court system sucks. It really does. And something needs to be done. Something absolutely needs to be done. I don't know if anything is going to be done anytime soon because they don't care. They don't care about how us as men are effed over in the courts. I got to keep it PG. They just want their money. And yes, that law firm represented your wife for free because they knew they were going to get the money out of you. That's why they did it. So let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll see y'all next.